Very good morning and welcome to the weekend edition of Global Morning. It's a Sunday edition of the program where we will help you have fun, help you get information, and keep your day and start your day with you and spend time with you as you enjoy your morning. My name is Ubong Osora, welcoming you to the program, and as usual, I have Sadia Yakubu. A very good morning to you, Sadia.
Good morning, Ubong Usoro, and happy Sunday.
Thank you so much.
Nice doing this again with you today.
Nice doing business with you, absolutely. All right, so let's start with some conversations. One of it is that I saw a poster that this is getting to 38 days. The children that were kidnapped in Oyo State are not yet back. Let's start with that. It's not, we've seen kidnapped schools in Kantagora, in other places. 1 week, 2 weeks, they're out of the kidnappers. But this one, they're not yet back.
At this point, I stated it, like I said last week on this same show, I said, until our governments learn to pick certain responsibilities, until they are willing not to ignore signs, these will continue happening. All right, so before the kidnapped happened, before that scenario took place, they had security updates. So first thing you do, you don't ignore. We have this attitude, I don't care attitude. It's not real. If it's true, nothing will happen. And then you see these things will come and happen. So I believe since they gave them security updates that this was going to happen, why not try and safeguard that place first? Try your best before it happens. At least give break, let everybody go home for certain weeks, no school. You see, by that you prevent. Even if they come, they won't see anybody to pick. Now, it's up to 38 days and nothing to write home about. The government of Ekiti, Oyo State, would come out and say the bandits are demanding for them to change certain laws, state law that will favor the bandits, and then give them vehicles, and then give them cash, and then give them this. The bandits again on their own would come out using that same teacher to counter what the state government has said. That all they are requesting, all they are asking for is for the state government to free some of their boys that they held captive. Else they would not release these children.
Right. I think that from the issues that we've stated this morning, it's very sad that this is where we are. And this could have been any of us.
Yeah.
This could have been our cousins. This could have been people related to us. Right. So it's always good to start on this note, but this is where we are, and we have to be able to tell ourselves the truth.
Yeah, we are already here. So let's think of how to...
solutions and how to...
go around
the whole thing. On Monday I was at the Federal High Court here in Abuja, and I saw about 490 terrorists who were alleged terrorists who are being prosecuted, at that level. And you could see the number, and the Attorney General said more are coming because they're trying to see how to prosecute. You ask yourself, how many terrorists do we have in Nigeria?
If you're having 490 already
that are going prosecution, more are coming, more in the... You could imagine the number. So how did we get here? There are fundamental issues.
Number one thing is, I think here, both the government, both you and I need to do more. For example, take if you want to do sensitization, you have to go down to the grassroots and do reels. Let's start from there, because all these boys, the kidnappers or the terrorists rather, if you are to sit with them one-on-one and ask them questions, they will tell you of all the whole millions of naira that they are collecting for as ransom from people, all they get in that money is not more than 10, 15 to 20,000. So you see here, we need to create awareness, because it seems some set of individuals are trying to use them to create havoc in the community. They will tell you, go and do this, the government will give you money. And then when they carry out these attacks, they end up getting nothing less than 15 to 20,000. Then give them drugs. They give them drugs, they buy them sophisticated weapons, and then tell them they'll give them money. Of course, they will do the job.
Right, so, it brings us to the issues of education.
Yes.
It brings us to the issue of poverty.
Yeah.
Because when we see the number of out-of-school children Nigeria has, that's a sign. It's a ticking time bomb. Because, like we say, the popular adage says, an idle man.
It's a devil's workshop.
Because you are not thinking. The man needs to think. And we just pray that we're able to solve our issues as a country and get going. All right, so that's our way of welcoming you to the program. This morning we'll go for a short break, and when we come back,
we'll come back with a newspaper review, give you headlines about what's happening in the country, the recent Ekiti polls, right? And every other stories you think it's very important. So don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
Alright, so welcome back to the program. This is where we get to look at the papers, what the papers are saying on a Sunday morning. So I'll go back now to Sadia to lead us through the first newspaper that we'll be taking this morning.
Yes, and our first newspaper for today is The Nation newspaper.
Alright, The Nation's newspaper, and
the lead story, Ekiti poll. APC's Oyebanji wins landslide victory.
Okay, Nation's newspaper, right. On the right that says high turnout as INEC observers allowed peaceful polls. Controversy draws reports of votes buying in some units.
All right, federal government moves to release 85.38 billion naira for Polytechnic College lecturers pay package.
Disquiet in NDC over allegiance oath indemnity form is on page number 7.
Insecurity. Oba of Benin summons meeting with native doctors.
About time. How mom made me play for US. Folarin Balogun.
All right, I think from me, that's all. I don't know.
I just want to say a few things, comment on two issues, the NDC issue and about Benin calling native doctors, right? So I'll start with the native doctor, Oba of Benin. I remember that some time ago, where I come from, there was like a cult kind of clash. Some cult groups were fighting, and so the village or the community per se now went to consult some things and said, if you are a cultist in this village, if you shed the blood of anybody in this village, this is what will happen to your family. All members of your family will be gone.
And of course, one wouldn't like that.
So in a way that reduced I'm not encouraging, I'm just stating what happened. I'm a Christian, I'm not a Christian.
You're not traditional.
I'm not traditional. I don't know if these things work, if it's mind game or whatever. But when some of them heard that kind of thing, they stopped. In fact, you got to a point that when they have quarrel with you, they can talk, somebody can say, I'll beat you, I'll slap you, but that will be the end. They won't cross the border. And you know that before the coming of this religion, we had our own way of securing our society, and we're doing it well. Right. So what happened all of a sudden? It now looks as if we don't know anything about security. Our land borders are porous. But this is the same land borders that has been for years before technology came. Technology should even help us to do better.
Before the religion came itself.
So where did we get it wrong? We have to be able to interrogate. One, I think that our moral fiber has been damaged because Africa has a very culture-centric society. People are taught respect as a culture. True. Respect is not just a choice, it's a culture, it's a way of living. We've forgotten all of that. Farming was a culture, so everybody knew that when you wake up, you have to go to farm. It teaches you hard work. But these days, there are many young persons who do not, sorry to say this, who don't want to do anything. Yeah. From men to women. I know of young guys, or I've heard of young guys, so that you don't ask me where did I know them from. I've heard of young guys who don't want to do anything with their hands.
They just wait for manners from heaven.
Maybe call people from the US, fake as if they are from the US, what people call Yahoo, and get money. Right. They don't want to do any hard labor. They don't want to wake up, bathe, go to work, come back by night. They say you're old-fashioned, right? So we lost these values, and I think if not in summoning native doctors, right? Maybe he has what he wants to discuss with the native doctor about insecurity, but if we can bring back those kind of values from our traditional system, because yes, the modernization is good, but in modernization you could see children call their parents by name. That's not the African way of doing things.
No, that's not the African. You can't call my dad by his name or call my mom by her name and have peace. Your body. You know, normal African mother now, they will use broom or shoe. Am I your mate? They will move the trans, they start hitting. So, you see, Africans were known for that culture, the respect. All right, you teach your children how to respect one another, how to respect people that are older than them. Right. So that's a real African culture. For me, if he is inviting all the native doctors, him as the chief, the Oba of Benin, you know, he has something to do with them. So definitely
he has a lot to do.
Yeah, he has a lot to do with them because he's like the father to them, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's a traditional father of the land.
Yeah, since I'm not from Benin State, Edo State. So you see, if some parts of the country, let's be sincere, some parts of the country, some states, they have sold out this culture for money. Like they give, and that's where you see our traditional institutions dying gradually. You get they are gradually fading out because some of the traditional rulers, let me use that language, not all though, some of our traditional rulers have sold their conscience, like they've sold out that respect, they've sold out that dignity to collect money. They want to be a first class, they want to be a second class. So of course, whatever the government or anybody wants, you give to them to get money. So definitely, people will always trespass your brother, and you can't use that cultural heritage again to fight or to do anything because you've sold it out.
Sad. Quickly, just on the NDC before we go to the next paper. You remember the other day, the NDC came out with a new policy that if you are a member of the party, you must sign an allegiance form to say that if you are moving from the party, you will not move with the position. And for me, I think this is novel, this is good for our democracy because we cannot continue this culture.
No.
Politicians move in droves into a political party, move out of the party with droves. It weakens our system, right? People, it doesn't show that we are serious people. So I think I'm okay. I don't know, other persons may not be happy about it, but why are you not happy about it? It means you already have plans that you'll be moving, because if you don't...
Yeah, you know, politicians are always politicians. They always stay where they want and where they feel always favors them. That's where they stay. But then, what the NDC is trying to do, for me, I think it's the best. If you're leaving NDC to join any of the political parties, if you're a card-carrying member, you contested under NDC and you won the Senate seat or House of Representatives, drop that seat there. Leave that position and then join another party when they are contesting again for that party you just recently joined. You can now see you doing it. That's where you belong. That's, to me, that's just the right way of doing things. You don't move from one party to another with the other party's glory.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
See, some persons voted for you, or some persons voted for that party. They say, Ubon is contesting for example, maybe let me just come up with DDC. DDC is not the party that has done anything in Nigeria. But because of you, Ubon Usoro, they now decide to vote for that party. All right. You then leave DDC. You are going to join, let's say, PPP. And then they'll be like, but we trusted this man. Why is he doing like this? Okay, we won't vote him again. Then you start seeing fake faces, fake love coming after evidence. Who won't win? We'll vote for you. When you get there, we'll vote for you.
Absolutely. I'm in support of that. Let's move to the next newspaper this morning. And we'll take the Punch newspaper. Sunday edition of the Punch newspaper. Story says, big story, Ekiti-Po, Oyebanji maintains early lead as vote buying claims rock election. Security personnel witness inducement, Younger Africa and others. Allegations of malpractice unfounded, APC senator. Voter reject EFCC operatives. VIPs move around with escorts. Those are on page 3, lead story on the Punch this morning.
All right, and from me, Bello Turji fights undergoing weapons training in Sokoto reports.
Police probe Ibogos over ultimatum to Fulani leaders.
All right, still on Ekiti, by elections, violence, low turnout polls in Enugu and Kebbi, and that's on page 5 of Sunday Punch.
Other stories. My wife watched helplessly as cultists killed our son, Lagos father. Sad story on page 8.
Olusosun, Lagos' largest dumping sites where aging equipment, mountain waste fraud disease fears, and that's on page 2, full and 24 and 25.
6,704 Nigerians sought asylum in Cyprus in 5 years.
All right, Lagos Ibadan nightmare, tanker collision kills 6, triggers traffic block down.
The last story I'll be taking, all will reshape or replace publishing. AI will reshape, not replace publishing. Former Academy Press MD Ladipo.
All right, Ubong, I would like us to talk about this particular story. Bello Turji's fighters undergoing weapons training in Sokoto. That's a report.
It is sad. It is sad. We have a war on our hands, and I think by now we should have mobilized all available, all reachable, even if it's to seek for new recruitments. Even seek for some troops outside the country. We should mobilize enough force and go after these people and crush this thing once and for all. I believe it can be done.
Bello Turji fighters undergoing training in Nigeria, and the report is out.
Right.
And if you talk now, some military persons would come out and say a journalist too should go along with.
No. They've already agreed on that.
No, we would go. Let's go. Let's all go together and see what happens.
People covering defense. This is not for you're not covering defense. The lights are shaking. You're like kicking them all, okay?
So I think on this note, we have to tell Madam K to get set.
No, she has to. She's our defense correspondent. She doesn't have an option.
So I think I'll forward this story to her, so they'll follow it up and then let's see how it
she has to cover her beats.
No, you should go with her at least.
No, I cover politics, my guy. I have my own operational hazards. That's why I go for protest. They take us to hell. I'm still feeding it till today. So I have my own operational hazards.
So please let's just move away from that story.
Alright, so we'll go to the Guardian now.
Yeah, the Guardian newspaper.
Okay, so I'll take the lead stories on page 8 of the newspaper. It says, upbeat as a kitty electorate dream smokes pool. On the rider, it says, police restrict movement, deploy DIG, AIG, anti-terror squad for security. Observers raise concerns over vote buying disinformation. SDP cries foul over inability to upload polling agent credentials to INEC portal. Media bodies tax journalists on professionalism, safety, consciousness. Those stories are on page 8 of the newspaper.
All right, still on the Guardian weekend edition. You have not disappointed me. Tinubu hails Wike. That's on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper.
Other stories says World Drug Day 2026. NDLEA, UNODC refine strategies against drug menace.
All right, AIG scores Governor Mba high on investment in modern security infrastructure, and that's on page 26.
Police arrest suspected bandit logistics supplier in Kwara.
Xenophobia. South Africa's reputation erosion is not theoretical.
Okay, Tinubu orders security reinforcement at NIPS after deadly attack.
Right, let's talk about sports. Madrid's shameful absence from 2026 FIFA World Cup.
Yeah, sadly, it is true.
I like the word you use now. Sadly, it is true.
Sadly, it is true that I watched the FIFA World Cup. Right, and sad. I'm supporting other teams because if your children cannot do well, your cousin's children are doing well,
I don't understand.
You send them to school now.
I don't understand. Come to my level.
All right, let me not speak in parables.
No, please.
Our Super Eagles, right? They didn't qualify for the last World Cup. They have not been able to qualify for this World Cup. What will I do?
You support other countries?
I support Ghana. I may not really like Ghana. But
since your country is not
at least if Peter Leaf is not available,
you go for Ogu.
You manage what you see. You manage what you see. Salt and pepper. You just take it as soup. Even when you know it's not soup normally.
But we have other options.
Which is South Africa.
Yes.
I can never go there.
Why?
Those people before they were here and they never me visa to it.
We already have a story from them. Yeah. So I think Nigeria absent from 2026 FIFA World Cup.
It's sad that this is where we are now. I think the
National Sports Commission and every other body. How would I put it? Responsible for this should come together and then see how they could come up with something.
Yeah, we narrowly missed out, and the fault is ours because we didn't. You know, this World Cup starts like 2 years before the time.
Right.
What is played in the US, Canada, and Mexico now is called World Cup finals.
All right.
So, but World Cup qualification starts like 2 years before the time. So during when it started, we were not serious. Ooh. It was at the twilight of we now got serious. We nearly qualified, but you know that kind of qualification where we say, okay, if we score 2 and the other team score 1, we'll qualify. Those are it places us in that realm of speculation. But if we had the energy we brought in close to when qualification was almost done, if we had started with that energy, we would have qualified, right? So like you said, some could blame the coach we had at that time, not this our current coach. The coach is trying. Nigeria is doing well. It's sad that we're not able to qualify at the time.
All right. I think we'll take.
All right. So let's take a few more stories, and that will be it for the papers this morning. I'll go to the next newspaper, which is the Vanguard newspaper. The story says, new kidnap horror rocks Oyo as terrorists kill pregnant woman. Ransom bearer demands 150 million naira to release another captive. On the right, I say Sunday Igboho talk stuff. Rage over terrorist toxic demands to free kidnapped school children. Those negotiating with insurgents on their own. Governor Lawal, 36 days after, inside the story of gunfight for hostages in the forest.
All right, Jos. Hausa woman sparks fresh tensions after court verdict on indigenization. Yeah.
World Cup, Balogun Olise, Musiala, Saka shines for US, France, Germany, England, and Super Eagles missing. These are Nigerian players who are applying their trades in other countries. Balogun, Olise, Musiala, Saka. They are all Nigerians, but they are playing for other countries in the world.
All right, and that story from me. Movies should deliver more than sex. Sharon, page 19.
I reserve my comment on that story, but it's true. It's true. All right, let's take the Sun newspaper as the last newspaper for
the Sun
morning.
Newspaper.
Yeah, go ahead, take the lead story.
All right, so the lead story says Ekiti Kuba, Oyebanji leads opposition's case. Good turnout, vote buying allegations, Beavers glitches, security concerns trail poll, and that's on page 25 of Sunday Sun.
2027, fresh worries for opposition parties is on page 16 and 18. Court ruling deepens ADC crisis, sends shockwaves to Accord, others. There's nothing to worry about. ADC Accord assures Nigerians.
All right, Babachir Lawal. Muslim tickets sparked banditry, terrorism. That's on page 20 and 21. Why I won't support Tinubu, Atiku, Obi, how Tinubu, I don't know.
Balkanized.
Okay, balkanized northern Nigeria.
Yeri denies link with anti-Tinubu protest, says allegation false, reckless, and disingenuous.
All right, expectations rise as government, National Assembly, intensifying moves to adopt state police, and that's on page 5.
Tanker explosion sparks over 24-hour gridlock in Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Sad for those who are traveling. I don't know if you've ever traveled, and a journey that I was supposed to take, one of those days I was going to Calabar, a journey that takes, I've done 1 hour on that road before. On a Sunday, I left Akwa Ibom around 9, I was in Calabar by 10, meaning it's possible. But normally it's maybe 2 hours on a working day. But on that same road, I've done about 20 hours on a 1 hour road because of gridlock. Right, so I really, my heart goes out to those people who stay in Lagos, people who, some of these people have appointments and they've already calculated their time, and some of them do not have extra money to, sometimes you see gridlock and you don't see where the cars just keep going and keep going and keep going. It's a sad reality so sincere apologies to those who may be facing that gridlock at the moment. Okay, so I'll take the last story for myself. My upbringing instilled in me discipline, integrity, and service to others. That's coming from Mary Ikoko. She's an entrepreneur. And that's all the stories that we have for you this morning on the newspaper segment of the show. Let's go for a short break. And when we're back, we will be getting into our discussion segment for this month. Please do stay with us. We'll be right back.
Wake up with Global Morning, your daily guide to what's happening and making the rounds.
We delve into headlines, newspaper reviews, spot-on analysis, policies, current events, real talk, real issues that affect us all.
From the latest trends to the debate, every topic, every angle, Global Morning is where it all starts.
Global Morning,
For the latest issues,
always on point.
Watch Global Morning Monday to Friday at 7 a.m. Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. on Global Television.
In an age of breaking news, you need a trusted source that prioritizes accurate, factual, and unbiased reporting. This is AM News, and I am Ubong Usoro.
On Global Television, our news is rooted in verified and authoritative storytelling that keeps you educated, informed, and enlightened on all the issues that matter to you. I am Sadia Yakubu. This is Midday News.
You can trust our multi-platform news broadcast real-time and fast-check stories for all the big local and foreign headlines round the clock. I am Ramsey Enoch Agbo. This is News Express.
Our array of anchors delivers the news to our teeming viewers, breaking it down with context and perspective. This is News Cycle on Global Television. I am Anieti Patrick.
And the flagship news is your hub for the day's most engaging stories. This is News Prime, and I am Jumai Manson.
Did you miss any of our news rounds? No worries. Catch up at 10 p.m. and midnight, 7 days of the week. I am Mukhtar Kasim.
Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. We're active across all social media platforms at Global TV NG.
Global TV News, accurate and unbiased. I'm Uyi Agmofwebe.
At Witchtech Cables, we don't just make cables, we deliver excellence. Our products are built with advanced technology, trusted for their unmatched quality and durability. With a wide range of cables, swift delivery, and continuous innovation, we stay ahead of the market demand. We are proudly Nigerian, fully indigenous, yet world-class. Backed by a professional team, strong technical support, and a deep commitment to customer satisfaction. Witchtech Cables is more than a brand, it's a promise. Witchtech Cables, quality cables better than the best.
At Aerogym Shoe Factory, excellence starts from the ground up. Located at number 1 Pound Road behind Nigeria Correctional Service, Aba, Abia State. We produce 1,500 high-quality shoes every single day. Paramilitary shoes, safety boots, desert boots, ankle shoes, back-to-school footwear. All crafted with state-of-the-art equipment and built for strength, comfort, and durability. For reliable footwear that stands the test of time, choose Aerogym Shoes for better product, strong steps, smart style. For inquiries, call 091-264-53399 or 070-3009-3944 or 080-6573-8374 or call 081-3167-3668. Email info@aerogym.com. Website www.aerogymdesign.com. Aerogym. Walk with confidence. Walk with pride.
Wake up with Global Morning, your daily guide to what's happening and making the rounds.
We delve into headlines, newspaper reviews, spot-on analysis, policies, current events, real talk, real issues that affect us all.
From the latest trends to the debate, every topic, every angle, Global Morning is where it all starts.
Global Morning,
For the latest issues,
always on point.
Watch Global Morning Monday to Friday at 7 a.m. Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. on Global Television.
In an age of breaking news, you need a trusted source that prioritizes accurate, factual, and unbiased reporting. This is AM News, and I am Ubong Osoro.
On Global Television, our news is rooted in verified and authoritative storytelling that keeps you educated, informed, and enlightened on all the issues that matter to you. I am Sadia Yakubu. This is Midday News.
You can trust a multi-platform news broadcast, real-time and fast-check stories for all the big local and foreign headlines round the clock. I am Ramsey Enoch Agbo. This is News Express.
Our array of anchors delivers the news to our teeming viewers, breaking it down with context and perspective. This is News Cycle on Global Television. I am Anieti Patrick.
And the flagship news is your hub for the day's most engaging stories. This is News Prime, and I am Jumai Manson.
Did you miss any of our news rounds? No worries. Catch up at 10 p.m. and midnight, 7 days of the week. I am Mukhtar Kasim.
Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. We're active across all social media platforms at Global TV NG.
Global TV News, accurate and unbiased. I'm Uyi Agmofwebe.
Welcome back to the program. It's still Global Morning Sunday edition. My name is Ubong Osoro, and here on the program we help you educate ourselves, entertain ourselves, and get to know what is happening. Today we have two topics. Obviously, we'll be looking at the Ekiti elections. We're already seeing results coming in and declarations being made. We'll bring you all of that information in no time. But before then, we will be looking at a topic that is very, very important as the world has gone ahead to celebrate the World Mental Health Day. And we do not take that for granted as we also join in that, the spirit of that celebration, to look at what mental health means for us as a people, and the awareness that is being created. The World Mental Health Day will be celebrated on October 10, 2026, but already the World Health Organization has started to roll out activities towards the celebration of the World Mental Health Day, calling people all over the world to raise awareness of mental health issues, and we'll just be talking a bit about a few of them on the program. Sadia is here. We will be joined later by mental health advocates who will be coming live on the studio as we discuss mental health. But Sadia, let me come to you. There are a lot of things that happen now at the list of provocation. Someone will say, this thing is affecting my mental health. I think there's been a surge in the usage of the word mental health of recent.
Yes, of recent, let me just use the word Gen Z. The Gen Z generations now, any little thing they say, please, I don't want to do this because it's going to affect my mental health. Oh, please don't disturb my mental health. I'm doing this because of my mental health. They always use this word. That mental health has been in existence for long. People know it all. Your ability to manage the things that can cause you mental issue, mental health issue is what we're talking about. So mental health issues are conditions that affect a person's thoughts, emotions, behavior, or ability to function in daily life. They are common and can range from mild to severe. Mental health challenges can affect anyone regardless of age, gender, background, or lifestyle. So we have anxiety, we have so many things. Right. For example, now, the most common things among most of young Nigerians now, let me not generalize, some, is a relationship. All right, so I just want to cite an example here. Something happened like months ago where we have a young lady that had a relationship issue. It was what we call in Nigeria hot breakfast. She was served her breakfast, and then because of that, she thought of killing herself. To me, it's nothing to kill myself about. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work. So we hear people saying, it's a mental health. Relationship, we cause them mental health. Whatever you know is going to cause your mental health, why not kindly wash off your hands? Leave that thing. Don't do that thing. As soon as you notice that this thing is going to cause my mental health, and you like your peace of mind, leave that thing. It's not necessary. Rather than going to commit suicide or taking drugs, you get. So mental health these days among the Gen Zs, even though it has nothing to do with age, gender, background, or lifestyle, you might still see some family people, some matured people dealing with mental health issue. Not because they don't know what to do, but their ability, like I stated earlier, your ability of managing things that happens to you is what really matters.
Right.
If one is to break your heart now, you know how to manage it. You just take a shower, eat, and then you come out to work and you do your job. And then from there you overcome. For me too as well, no, on a serious note, for me too as well, if I see anything that will cause me mental health or will cause my mental health, I will just gather myself, pick myself, and then leave that environment. I'll go to another place where I'll see people, I would have fun, I'll talk to people, so that thought of me committing suicide will not come into my head, or going to take drugs or taking substance that can even affect me mentally.
Right. So, you've spoken so well. One of the things that we've noticed over time is that, as far as you're a human being, right, challenges will come.
Definitely, you can't escape that.
Yeah. So you have to be strong in mind. You have to be strong in approach. You have to be strong to be able to deal with these challenges.
Exactly.
And you don't pander at challenges, because for challenges, like you mentioned, it comes with different degrees. Mental health, we talk about anxiety, we talk about issues of psychological issues and all of those. And some of these things are things you cannot really write out. Why we are not being inconsiderate to the plight of people who have walked this path, because some people say some things you may not understand until you are there.
It happens to you.
Let me just give some very serious examples. There are persons that maybe you got a loan of, let's say, 20 million naira, you got a container outside the country to bring in wares, you invested all the money you had, sold your houses, got a loan. Your hope was that once that container gets lands, that you'll be able to refund the money. And that container maybe sinks on the high sea. It's going to affect your mental health. Yeah, but how you deal with it, right?
Exactly.
There are persons that I know of somebody who had just one child. The child had a son, and while he was going for youth service, he had an accident and he died. Right. So there are persons who have been in that place, and already she's past the age of childbearing. So what now happens to her? What becomes of her? This child was like her whole hope. She sent him to school. He studied law even, right? So there's been lots of investment, and you just wake up and so there are situations. Those ones are the ones that people could say extreme and pressure on your health. There are even the ones that some people could say minor, like you said, relationship.
These are minor ones.
But they are not really minor in a way.
To me, they are minor.
Maybe to you. But that's why I say, so that we don't sound inconsiderate. There are persons that they've invested in their relationship. They've invested their time. They've invested. They've actually done the investment. But it's true.
See, no matter how much you've invested in a relationship that is not working out, would you rather stay there?
No, sometimes you don't know that it's not going to work.
So long as there are signs, there are red flags you see. There are
signs
you see that. You know, we have this attitude of I don't care, like I stated in previously. We have this attitude of I don't care. You see something, before you not working out, you're still giving energy, you're still pushing, you're still putting more, with the hope that it will work. He will change. She will change.
Let me give you an example. I have a friend that she was in this relationship with somebody, a guy, and They're doing very well, right? And the guy even came to see our parents and stuff. And all of a sudden, he said he was traveling out of the country, but he will be back in. just allow me to say.
All right,
he'll be back in quite a while. So he and the girl decided, doing preparations, doing this, doing that,
Getting married.
that. No, not married. They were not getting married. He was traveling out of the country.
No, like she has been preparing in her mind. She already had someone to get married to.
Absolutely. Only for the guy to now travel in his day travel. And the next week she went online and saw a wedding picture with this and that. And I was like, this guy, what happened? And people were now calling her to say, what happened? The guy moved out of the seats, moved out of the states to another state, relocated with everything, went, got somebody else, got married to them. She was shattered. She was shattered. She had to cut her hair. I'm telling you, somebody I know. She had to. This is somebody. She plaits her hair and all of those kind of things. She had to cut, like she had to do low cut like a child. She had to. It affected her for some time.
Oil and then
It affected her because these are people's pain. So we don't realize their pain.
See, let me bring my own. Let me tell you my own. I have gone through same thing. I think this guy, we dated for like 7 years with the hope of getting married. Families were involved. It's not a joke. Now I'm telling you my own personal issue so that you know that the ability of you managing situations really would help you go a long way. I said 7 years, and in that 7 years, I've had a lot of people coming to seek for my hand in marriage. But then, because I don't want to betray that person and his own family, I just had to stick to that relationship, hoping that yes, it will work out. Finally, they came. We said the procedure that is the marriage procedure. All right, a date was fixed. Unanimously, everyone agreed. So definitely we'll start preparing. All right. See, if a man or a woman is giving you attitude, there are signs, like I said, there are signs you have to always watch out for. I started seeing signs, unusual attitude.
I understand.
You understand? And I confronted me. I said, so, what's happening? Me, I don't understand you again. Ever since you people came and they fixed it, you've been giving cold attitude. If there is any problem, tell me. If you're not even okay with the whole marriage procedure, let me know. It's not a do or die affair.
Right.
He said no, nothing. Not knowing that his own elder sister, on the other hand, was pushing that no, he should get married to someone else. Why me from another state? They keep hiding these things. They kept everything away from me. So it was his elder brother's wife, that is the older brother, that now called me and was like, Auntie Sadia, this, and they started telling me everything. Not knowing that they've already agreed. They've gone to even seek for another lady in marriage. They fixed dates. And me, I'm not even aware. We're busy preparing, waiting for dates. Waiting for that day to come. And we women now bring out Ashrebi, do this. My father even people painted their house there. And so many things. Waiting for years, this day, next month, my brother is getting married. It's not a joke.
I understand.
And so if you're talking about, I went through that one too. But what did I do? The day I found out, I confronted him with the issue. In fact, his mom then will always beg me, please, don't accept anybody. We are coming. And I kept waiting because she's an elderly woman.
But this is pure wickedness.
Exactly. So when I saw the signs, that when I confronted him and then they said line this, that, I said, okay, Sadia, I said, now to myself, take a step back. Now what I did then, I just left our house. I moved to another place. Let me just relax.
That's yeah.
You understand? The thought of that's when the thought of you killing his or herself would come. Take this drug. That's when it will come. Do this, do that. That's when it will come. But you being your ability to manage that situation, that's what really matters.
Right, ability to manage.
The ability to manage. Number one, you have God to fall back to.
Right.
Just keep praying. That was what saved me. I now look. Myself, I didn't even call them. After healing, I just gathered my left legs. I said, "Oh yeah, let's go," and that was it. But could you believe? Barely 2 months after their marriage, him and that lady, the mom began to call me again.
To do what?
Exactly, to do what? To do what? The sisters began calling me again. For what? In fact, during the wedding process, Auntie Sadia, sorry, you're viewing our status today. I said, no problem, please upload. And I will view with my data because I've already healed then. So you see.
Yeah, it takes a lot of mental strength. You know, not everybody, but like you said, we so that we don't make excuses for persons. You have to be determined. It starts with yourself that you are more than this. I think one of the things that it does to this kind of situation does to people, it makes you doubt yourself.
Yeah.
You start doubting, is it that I'm not good enough? Is there something wrong with me? And
nothing is wrong with you.
Once you allow the devil or you allow your mind to play you into that place where you feel you are not good enough, there's something wrong with you. You get to the point you don't even want people to see you because you feel that once they see you, they'll notice
make mockery of you.
Yes, they'll make mockery of you. So there's a place for shame, there's a place for fear, there's a place for anxiety, all of these things. Inferiority complex now finds a way to come in, it mixes together, and it causes a whole lot of havoc.
So my own advice is if you have anyone going through a mental health challenge, what you do is you try and speak to that person calmly. Make that person find comfort in you.
Right.
You know, there are some persons that they don't like relating their issues to anybody, like personal issue or whatever they are going through. That phase, they don't want to tell anybody because they feel if I should discuss my issue with Mr. B or Mr. A, Mr. A will go and relate it with Mr. B. Mr. B will take it to Mr. C, and then mockery comes in. And then from that junction or from that moment, I feel like, let me just give up.
Absolutely.
You understand?
Absolutely. So the support systems are also very necessary.
Yes, the support system.
What do you do? Always tell yourself that you are better than this. You know, life is filled with challenges. You will be challenged.
Definitely.
So don't have that mindset that, life is a bed of roses. Because if
no.
that's already what you have, the moment you see a little bit of challenge, you
have mental health issues.
You have mental health issues.
And then another part of mental health issue, we were just talking about relationship, all right? Another part of mental health issue is maybe for the widows or the widowers, right? Once they lost their husbands or wives. Society start making mockery of them. Society will run away from them. People will push them. They will leave them to suffer, to carry the burden and every other thing. That's another mental health. So this kind of people, I think they need specialists.
Right. There are therapists.
That can talk to them, that can help them. They need support.
Right.
That's another part of it. Then we have another part of another set of people. That's the husbands who can't feed their family. Maybe before he earns more, and now maybe because of the economic hardship, he can barely feed his family. Now you have a nagging wife who doesn't understand these things. You'll be pressured to bring home food and every other basic necessities. All right. Now, the man is under pressure.
Right.
One that can even barely bring a cup of rice home, you're telling him to come and pay this, you must do your hair, you must buy you clothes. He will be depressed. Before you know, he will have mental issues.
Right.
Some of them will be walking and talking to themselves alone. It's when they get somewhere or get anyone that they feel is willing to listen to them, or you offer help, you offer to help them. That's when they'll start telling you things about what's happening, what they are going through, how they've been earning before, and then things change all of a sudden, and he has a wife that is not understanding the whole situation, that is pressurizing him instead of she leaving her comfort zone to also help. Because for God in heaven's sake, this is the man that you have kids, you're having kids with, the father of your children. So you won't leave him to carry the burden alone. You share the burden together, so long as kids are involved. And he is a human. So long as he's not a stingy person, he's the kind of person that when he had the money, he do give you and then take responsibility as a responsible father that he is. We have some fathers who are not, permit me to use the word, so-called responsible fathers, that when they had that money or they had the chance to help their family and kids, they didn't because of their own selfish interests. All right, so by the time things start changing for them or has changed for them, they will start seeking for, what I call it, help from you that they didn't help.
Right. I think one of the thing that you just pointed out is dealing with betrayal, because that's also something that comes as a very serious shock to a lot of persons. And for somebody like me, by the mercy and privilege of God, I've been opportune to walk the line that I'm not totally shocked. Right? I could just say, this person, all right, fine, and I'm going, but I'm not totally shocked to because I've seen some level of that human beings can turn at any time. They could turn because of position. They could turn because of they could just turn because they are human beings. All right, so for some persons, betrayal can cost them more than they can ever imagine. Because they are persons who maybe trusted in like you said, trusted somebody so much, right? And the moment that person turns from what they had imagined, right, you now see them turning into something else, because all of their hope was that, this person is a very good person and was my friend. So the person would have been your friend for a long time. We could turn, so whether it's your family, it's your father, your own father can even turn against you, your sisters, your siblings. So you have to be open-minded enough to, these things are not easy because they have to deal with the very foundations of your emotions. Sometimes you've spent 25 years with somebody, and just when you thought you just see this person turn, it could be very hurtful. It could be somebody can even decide to betray you, forget about the family, forget about everything that you've ever dealt with. After 25 years in marriage, the person can decide to betray you. And you come home and say, I'm no longer. And you say, what's the point? Say, there's no problem. I have so let me give you a story. I once heard of a story of this is somebody I know though. He got married, he was doing fine. He left the house in the morning. There was no problem. He left, he spoke with his wife. As he was coming back, the wife was packing into her things into a car. And he was like, where are you going? The wife says she's going to Lagos. He said, what is happening in Lagos? He said that she's an actress. Yes, this. He started accusing him. He said, "You destroyed my career. You destroyed my career. This bondage, marriage that you have put me into, have destroyed my career. You knew that I was an actress. I wanted to be. She had never acted in a movie before. And this is even passerby, those who have passed, she has not even appeared as anything. Extra. She has not even done extra before. All of a sudden, this is somebody that the man opened the first shop for her. the shop folded because of, I don't know what happened. The second shop, the same problem.
She's an actress.
So now, in the morning she left, no problem. Just her husband. The husband was even telling the person who was packing, do you know that this is somebody's wife? Because the man is a calm and gentleman. Do you know this is somebody's wife? I entering the house to pack the driver said, sir, it's not my fault. I'm paid to do this work. I'm sorry, sir. Talk to her. Say, what are you? My dear, what's happening? Where are you going to? You say, I'm going to Lagos.
I'm an actress.
You destroyed my career. You destroyed my career. I have to go.
You destroyed my career.
A career that has never started. I said she has not done passers by. Like all these people are just arguing me, they will just pass by. She has not done it before. I don't say you destroyed my career. And the next thing,
she left.
She left her children. No, she had just one child. Left her child. She came to Lagos. I've been watching Nollywood.
You've not seen her.
I've been looking for her, Sadia. Sadia, I've not seen her movie.
You will see her soon.
I've not seen her movie.
You people will see her soon.
I'm not doubting her acting prowess, but at least this should be more than 6 years now.
And you've not seen her on screen.
Maybe it's because I don't watch enough.
I think you need to go back and watch
the ones I watch. I've not seen her.
She has appeared by now. She might have appeared by now. So you see, in this kind of situation, she has betrayed him.
Yeah, and
now he will be having that mental health issue.
Right, and
he'll be thinking.
And you know that since then, he doesn't want to do anything with anything called woman. They've begged him, they've asked him, they've get married, look for him. Say, no, don't worry, I'll just take care of my child, I'm okay. You know, so there's how people respond to those kind of things, right? This is how many years he just comes back, goes to school, take care of his child, brings her back, he's building his house, he has bought a car, he's just focused on his life.
She would come back someday.
That's for whatever happens. But you see, different people respond. So he has now created it. But if you are even a lady and you are talking to him, there's how he will be looking at you. Like, all of you people, are you not the same? The one that invested my every what? So, but you have to be strong to man up, to come out of whatever and keep going and keep moving. There are many persons who people must have written off because of their circumstances. But Genevieve Naji, for instance, she had a child when she was quite very young, her first child, and out of wedlock. But she has gone ahead to do a lot for herself, right? You know, she didn't allow that
weigh her down.
There are persons who had failed marriages. Maybe the first marriage failed, but they've gone ahead to have very lovely marriage too, right? So Donald Trump, for instance, he may not be the best example to use here, but at least Donald Trump has been married 3 times. Melania is his 3rd wife. You know, all of his children are okay. So people have stories to tell. Yeah, but ability for you to
manage the situation
and keep going. It's very important. Don't allow anybody denigrate you. You are who you are.
So long as you're an adult, you're already on this earth. You're already in life. You're already in picture of God and everybody. That yes, this person is existing. Always have it at the back of your mind that things would happen. Some days that will not go your way. All right, things would happen that some days will go the way you want it. So the day it doesn't favor you don't start thinking of maybe taking drugs, killing yourself, or doing any other stuff, or leaving people. If you want to heal, we have various healing process. Some persons tend to heal maybe when they stay off people.
All right. Okay, so let's go for a short break, and when we're back, we'll bring in our first guest for this morning. Stay with us.
Up with Global Morning, your daily guide to what's happening and making the rounds.
We delve into headlines, newspaper reviews, spot-on analysis, policies, current events, real talk, real issues that affect us all.
From the latest trends to the debate, every topic, every angle, Global Morning is where it all starts.
Global Morning,
For the latest issues,
always on point.
Watch Global Morning Monday to Friday at 7 a.m. Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. on Global Television.
In an age of breaking news, you need a trusted source that prioritizes accurate, factual, and unbiased reporting. This is AM News, and I am Ubong Osoro.
On Global Television, our news is rooted in verified and authoritative storytelling that keeps you educated, informed, and enlightened on all the issues that matter to you. I am Sadia Yakubu. This is Midday News.
You can trust our multi-platform news broadcast real-time and fast-check stories for all the big local and foreign headlines round the clock. I am Ramsey Enoch Agbo. This is News Express.
Our array of anchors delivers the news to our teeming viewers, breaking it down with context and perspective. This is News Cycle on Global Television. I am Anieti Patrick.
And the flagship news is your hub for the day's most engaging stories. This is News Prime, and I am Jumai Manson.
Did you miss any of our news rounds? No worries. Catch up at 10 p.m. and midnight, 7 days of the week. I am Mukhtar Kasim.
Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. We're active across all social.
So welcome back to the program. This morning we're joined by Gloria Tor. She's done a lot of work as far as mental health advocacy is concerned and assisting people who have mental health issues. She's joined us this morning as we are looking at this topic, looking at mental health and understanding mental health issues. A very good morning to you, Gloria.
Thank you so much for having me. Good morning, Ubong. Good morning, Sadia.
All right. So, okay. So, tell us about how important is people understanding mental health, because what I hear a lot is just mental health. Don't mess with my mental health.
Don't mess with my mental health. All right, I'm going to bring it down to a layman's language. You know, when you hear the word mental health, so many people perceive mental health as someone who is mad. We need to change that perception or perspective as individuals. There's a big difference between mental health and mental illness. Mental health, everybody has it. It's the psychological well-being of a human being and also how your brain reacts. So that's why I said everybody has mental health. While for mental illness, it's more like a diagnosis from a medical doctor or maybe a therapist and all. So that's the two difference between mental health and mental illness. And examples of mental illness like depression, anxiety, and the rest of it, bipolar. That is a very good example of mental illness.
All right, Sadia.
So we have a lot of people now, Gen Z. Let me just use that word Gen Z because they testify, they attest to that they are Gen Z. They say, now, if I'm to pick your phone now, please don't touch my phone. I don't want to have mental health. Everything is wrapped around mental health. Okay. In their own language, what does mental health really mean? Because we don't understand. You hear person, please lend me 2-5 there. No, please, I don't want to lend you money because of my mental health. Yes.
Like, I made mention of mental health is the psychological well-being of an individual, right? Depression could also be one of the symptoms, right? So I'll give an example. Last year I lost my mom and I knew how it was draining. I ran into depression, and also some of my family members, especially had loved ones. I wouldn't want to mention everything you get. So sometimes it's when you hear the word mental health, people overuse it, they misuse it. Let's use that word, right? So it's just like the way your brain reacts, the way your brain feels. It's okay to always feel drained. That's why I'll give example of this phone. Like when a phone is being worked out, it needs to charge, right? That is how a human being is. If you're being worked out, your mental health is at stake. You need to rest. You need to take a break. I know most of us here are workaholics, but we need it because by the time you break down, by the time your mental health, yes, it's at stake. Right. So that's the simplest way I can expatiate it.
All right. Sorry for the loss of your mom.
Thank you so
much.
Now,
how do one manage depression?
Well, for me, what worked out? I would say there are 3 things, right? First, you speak up, you speak to someone. Secondly, you rest. The third, do what makes you happy. Those 3 things worked for me on how to manage depression. Like when I was going through my try moment last year, it wasn't an easy one. Me being the first child, the workload she has dropped for me, the younger siblings, the infants I have to take care of. It was a lot on me. So for the aspect of speaking out, you need a therapist. You need someone to talk to that will be able to talk you out of that moment. That's one way to manage depression. The second one, do what makes you happy. Like art makes me happy as an individual. So whenever I see anything that is artistic, I'm fulfilled. Then also, I love community development service. He knows me so well. I've done a whole lot. Like even my birthday for April, what I did, I was like, you know what, girl? I'm going to spend it with special needs children because they neglect them in the society. They feel, children living with autism, dyslexia, they should be pitied. No. Rather, they should show love to them. So just look for what fits into you that makes you happy. Then sleep when necessary. Not like because I said sleep now. Every moment you now go and look for how to sleep. No.
What about those that would go into drugs because of depression? Depression will lead them into drugs, or some group of persons will just advise them to please take drugs, like hard drugs.
I understand. Well, I wouldn't advise you to go into drugs because of depression. No matter how the situation might be, the best way is just to speak out. You know, there's this word that says, a closed mouth is a closed destiny, right? So it's always good as an individual, you speak out whenever you feel that way. But for those who are already in it, it is difficult to bring them out. That's why you find out that you see some people are going into rehabilitation homes, whereby you see sometimes when the situation is so worse, you see them tying them and all, which is a wrong method of caring for these people. Like the last time I had a conversation on this, we had especially someone who is an expert in this field. He has a reputation home, and he said there's a case of someone that has been in this situation for 24 years, and how the parent were able to handle that situation was very, very wrong, in the extent that they looked for chains to tie him and all. And when they brought him to the rehabilitation center, there was change. He was able to care for him, show him love, speak out to him, make sure he brings, whenever they're conversing, he brings in situations like, oh, can you remember what happened? Like, just try to talk him in. Some will be like, I am mad. He'll be like, no, you are not mad. It is what you took that is making you behave this way. So I feel the best way, let's just sum it up to just speak out.
Right.
Yes.
All right, so I'd like to ask, I know that this year you are holding a mental health seminar, and for a young person your age who would like to ask why you'd have bought shawarma with the money you had.
Why shawarma?
Or something else.
Since you love shawarma. Why shawarma?
I don't know, Sadi, at the time to ask. So what inspired you?
Okay, what actually inspired me was from my experience, right? You know, this is not the first edition, this is 2.0. So the first one was from my experience. We had the first edition, Breaking the Silence. We find out that mental health now, the way it is now, 10 years ago, if you look back, there's a big difference. Like, people are now speaking out, right? So we had Break the Silence. While this year's edition, it's Seen, Heard, Held, Never Walk Alone. And I looked at it that, okay, since I've experienced depression, I feel it's not just about talking. We need practical examples. So this year's edition, what makes it very different is from last year is we're bringing in medical practitioner. In fact, there's a doctor who is flying in tomorrow for this event from Lagos. There's also another person who is a mental health counselor. There's another person who is a mental health advocate. We want real life practical experiences, because so many people have been anticipating to listen to what this set of people have to say. So we want a room that people can converse, ask questions, and not just talking. We even have someone who has a real life story to share with everyone in the room.
All right, so I'd just like to add to that. We have lots of, if you go on Twitter space, you see lots of mental health stuff. So what is different and what gap are you feeling? Is it something different that you're doing more than what others have done, or what others will be?
I wouldn't say there's something different, right? I would say access and language. Now, access, I'm giving everyone in the room an access to these people that I mentioned who will be coming. Then language, the way the message is being passed, right? And we're also going to do a follow-up in situations that, okay, if you have an issue, this is a room where you're coming to, you are not going to be laughed at, everybody is included. In fact, the interesting part is we have people who are physically challenged, who would be special guests, and also on the panel section.
I have somebody for you.
Oh, thank you so much. So we're making it inclusive for all. So like I said, access and language. That is different. We are going to be bringing this time.
So do I have mental health issues?
Of course.
I do. With the Nigerian
We all have our mental health. Please, sorry, don't stress my mental health.
I would say, when we look at the Nigerian media space, do you think the media has done enough in sensitizing and talking about mental health issues?
Well, I would say the media is trying, because I wouldn't want to. I'm also in the media, you know, and this is me saying kudos to us, because, like I said, 10 years ago is different from now. So with the issue of we reporting these issues and making it accessible to all. You know, that's why there's also what we have the convention, aside from the conventional media, there's what we call social media, and it's accessible to all. So the media is doing a whole lot to sensitize the public on mental health. And I love the fact that this year is a mental health month for men, whereby we are prioritizing the men's mental health. We find out that men are very hardened people in the sense that, please don't get me wrong, in the sense that whenever they go through situations, they keep quiet, they keep it to themselves. That's why I said they are hardened people. They will not want to share, they just want to pass that face alone.
I used to share with you.
Not all men, some men, but majority, you get. So, and there are some men that you say that no matter how tough the situation might be, they will not want to speak out. That's why you find out that it's statistics has it that most men go into suicide and all, which is why it is good we prioritize the mental health of a man, just like the way we are having mental health for women and for everybody. Like, you know, in November, in October now, it's for everybody. But I actually love the fact that the mental health is being prioritized for men in the month of June, which is something that, yes, if you go on every social media space, you'll see that everybody is talking about it, and it's a good one.
Sadia?
For me, so men, how would you advise men who are going through mental health challenge, apart from speaking up? You know, like you said we have some hard men, like they don't want to talk, they want to go pass through that phase alone until after everything before some of them will talk, and some of them will just prefer to, should I use the word, commit suicide? Yeah. So what word of advice you have for those men, apart from speaking up?
Well, apart from speaking up, just know that you're not alone. Every phase that is difficult, definitely, as long as there's a beginning, there's an end to it. So I don't say that you committing suicide is enough reason if you cannot speak up as a man. Just like I said, aside from speaking up, look for what makes you happy. Look for how you can relieve yourself from such situations. Even if a lady, or like maybe some people, some men commit suicide due to they cannot withstand heartbreak, some due to pressure and all. That is not enough reason as a man to go into such acts. Just be yourself. Allow yourself to heal with time. Go out. Mingle with people. You would find out that with time, your mental health will begin to get its shape and get balance, right? So if you cannot speak out, you see this phone, there are lots of apps that you can help yourself also. If you cannot speak to a therapist, like there's what we call telemedicine, whereby you have the phone at the comfort of your home to speak to a medical person from your phone, and the person would not even have to see your face. Some people are shy, they don't want their identity to be revealed. So if you cannot do that, this is another option for you as an individual. Just look for apps like that, right? And there's some other mental health apps also that could be of help. You could also read articles, you could watch movies that would help you shape your mental health.
All right, absolutely. You really, spoken to these issues as to how men can deal. But I'd like to ask, do mental health issues affect children too?
Yeah, it does. Like, I said mental health, everybody has a mental health.
Because when we were young, nobody cared about that.
Honestly, I'll also give an example of myself. I went to a military school where I love giving that story a lot. And that is one of the reasons that bettered my own organization, my own non-profit, right? I went to a military school whereby in my GES2, I repeated because of maths. I moved forward to SS1. In SS2, I fell sick. I was diagnosed of pneumonia. I was diagnosed of high fever. which affected
mental health.
The way I think, the way I do things. I started talking. This was not how I used to talk. I had to learn from the onset, like a baby, you get. And the people around me were not even helping issues. I became a mockery to them because the school has a rule that if you want to go to SS3, there's a joint promotion exam that you must pass. Be it you pass every other subject and you fail maths or English, you repeat. I remember I had repeated in JS 2. And this school knew my own situation, that I just came back from the hospital. It wasn't even up to a month. And I was still trying to heal, to regain myself. If you had seen me that day, I was so skinny. You know, sometimes when you don't go out and all, you just become white all of a sudden. Yes, because the sun doesn't touch you and all. Like breeze could blow me as of then. And the school knew my predicament at that time. So when we wrote the exams, we were 5 of us. And they said, all of you failed maths, but we'll give you another time, another opportunity to rewrite it. And when we rewrote it, I was still the only one that they called out on the assembly ground. Disgraced me in front of people. So you knew how it was to me at that time. At my whole mental health was at stake. But if not for the wisdom God gave to my parents, they chose peace over violence. Then they would have created something else. But what my parents did was, you know what? This thing is affecting this girl, because everybody, and I look to, everyone's coming to pity me. Hey, yeah, I hate that word. Like you're saying, yeah. Honestly. So that was what happened to me at that point. And if not that my parents took a different direction by listening to the advice of some persons that meant good for me. What they did was simple. They changed my school to a different school. And that school, the same mathematics that I used to fail then, my WAEC, one sitting, I passed that maths. My JAM, I was the second best. And my parents were like, so if you had left this girl, this is how this girl will just die in silence. So mental health affects children irrespective of your age. It depends on the situation that surrounds it. And I remember then I wasn't an adult. I was still a teenager as of then. So if you could do that to me, what about a little child whereby maybe for instance the mother has died and the dad decides to now marry a stepmother? And you know how some stepmothers can be in the society. Yes. So that stepmother now start maltreating this child, favoring her own child. Think of how it would be on that child's psychological well-being. So mental health affects everyone.
Right. So the last question from me: what impact do you hope to achieve this year with your mental health seminar? Of course, I'll be there. And I will be there too.
Definitely, if you do not come, I will sanction you guys. All right, so I need 2 things, right? I need. There are 2 things I want to get: permission, and let me break the permission first. For permission, you do not need someone to give you the go-ahead, right, to speak out as an individual. So you coming into that room should have a different rethink, a different reset in your brain that, for me, if I find myself in such situations, I need no permission to do what I want to do, to speak to who I want to speak. Then for the other one, I'm still going to dwell on access, right? You're coming there, we're giving you access to people, utilize it. Do not just come like a normal seminar, to just come and sit and go. You should learn something from it. It should be a room of learning, unlearning, and relearning as an individual. Then also, after the seminar, how are you going to implement it? That is the third one, implementation. You've gotten permission, you've had access. The important one, most importantly, implementation. After it, what next? How do you hope to shape the society aside from speaking out? So that's what I hope to achieve.
Right. Thank you so much, Adia.
No, I'm good.
Thank you so much for coming on the program. We
thank you so much for having me.
appreciate your zeal for mental health, and you have to talk to me because
you have mental health too. You're now a gender.
Please have mental health.
Oh, my mental health is at stake. I also read that. Like, I'm also guilty. Like, before my mom passed out, may I still rest in peace. There was one time she was speaking to me, I was like, please, my mental health.
Okay.
My mental health is
until when I had the course, like I studied it for last semester, because I'm currently doing public health, and we have a compulsory course on mental health. That was when I got to realize that, this is deeper than what we do.
Don't touch my mental health. Alright, let's go for a short break, and when we're back, the next segment will continue. Please stay with us.
Wake up with Global Morning, your daily guide to what's happening and making the rounds.
We delve into headlines, newspaper reviews, spot-on analysis, policies, current events, real talk, real issues that affect us all.
From the latest trends to the debate, every topic, every angle, Global Morning is where it all starts.
Global Morning,
For the latest issues,
always on point.
Watch Global Morning Monday to Friday at 7 a.m. Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. on Global Television.
In an age of breaking news, you need a trusted source that prioritizes accurate, factual, and unbiased reporting. This is AM News, and I am Ubong Osoro.
On Global Television, our news is rooted in verified and authoritative storytelling that keeps you educated, informed, and enlightened on all the issues that matter to you. I am Sadia Yakubu. This is Midday News.
You can trust a multi-platform news broadcast real-time and fast-check stories for all the big local and foreign headlines round the clock. I am Ramsey Enoch Agbo. This is News Express.
Our array of anchors delivers the news to our teeming viewers, breaking it down with context and perspective. This is News Cycle on Global Television. I am Anieti Patrick.
And the flagship news is your hub for the day's most engaging stories. This is News Prime, and I am Jumai Manson.
Did you miss any of our news rounds? No worries. Catch up at 10 p.m. and midnight, 7 days of the week. I am Mukhtar Kasim.
Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. We're active across all social media platforms at Global TV NG.
Global TV News, accurate and unbiased. I'm Uyi Agmofwebe.
At Erojim Shoe Factory, excellence starts from the ground up. Located at number 1 Pound Road behind Nigeria Correctional Service, Aba, Abia State. We produce 1,500 high-quality shoes every single day. Paramilitary shoes, safety boots, desert boots, ankle shoes, back-to-school footwear. All crafted with state-of-the-art equipment and built for strength, comfort, and durability. For reliable footwear that stands the test of time, choose Erojim Shoes for better product, strong steps, smart style. For inquiries, call 091-264-53399 or 070-3009-3944 or 080-6573-8374 or call 081-3167-3668. Email info@erojim.com. Website www.erojimdesign.com. Erojim. Walk with confidence. Walk with pride.
Hello everyone and welcome to Taste and Texture. Today we are going to be preparing boiled plantain and egg sauce. For the boiled plantain, we'll be needing the following: ripe fresh plantain, knife and clean pot, water. Here is the process of preparing boiled plantain. Wash and cut or dice your fresh ripe plantain into few pieces. In a clean pot, add your diced and washed ripe plantains. Add water, salt and cover to cook for few minutes. Drop and drain the water, and then after a few minutes peel the boiled plantain and set aside. For the egg sauce, we will be needing a few fresh pieces of raw eggs. In a clean bowl, break your raw eggs and whisk. Get your clean frying pan and add oil to fry. Add your pepper, mix and stir for a few minutes. Then add Maggi and other seasoning of your choice. Then stir and add corned beef. Optional. Also stir your already whisked eggs and finally add parsley and stir it. Our boiled plantain and egg sauce is ready. And that's it on this episode of the show. I hope you will try this recipe at home. Join me again on Taste and Texture next time. I am Sadia Yakubu. See you again.
Wake up with Global Morning, your daily guide to what's happening and making the rounds.
We delve into headlines, newspaper reviews, spot-on analysis, policies, current events, real talk, real issues that affect us all.
From the latest trends to the debate, every topic, every angle, Global Morning is where it all starts.
Global Morning,
For the latest issues,
always on point.
Watch Global Morning Monday to Friday at 7 a.m. Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. on Global Television.
A very good morning and welcome to the show once again. This is the Global Morning Weekend edition and the Sunday edition of the program where we are discussing issues that make Nigeria and make all of us better people. And today on the program we will be looking at the elections that were conducted yesterday in Ekiti State, as we have a politician himself who has joined us live on the program this morning to help us discuss these issues. We have joining us in the studio Alfred Somfon, who is a human rights activist and a politician contesting under the platform of the African Action Congress for for the senatorial seats in Lagos West. He's joining us live now. Thank you so much, Alfred, for coming on the program.
Yeah, thank you very much. I want to appreciate us and the entire masses and the people as a whole. Together we can build a better Nigerian. So let's go have some fun on this show.
All right, good morning, and once again, nice having you in the studio.
Thank you very much.
All right, so yesterday we saw Nigerians come out in their numbers to elect a new governor in Ekiti State, and it's part of a democratic process, having governors from time to time, and one of the ways we do that is voting. I'd like to ask, how do you see the conduct of elections, and what have you heard from Ekiti so far?
Well, thank you very much. I'd like to state very clear. Comrade Alfred Somfon is not a man who likes to put his words under his tongue. The gubernatorial election in Ekiti, without missing my word, is a show of shame, a disgrace and a disaster to democracy and to the rights of the masses. See, let's call a spade a spade. Election in Nigeria, election can't change government in Nigeria. Let's be honest with ourselves. As long as this APC Tinubu administration is still existing, no election, or let me rephrase, as long as this Amokwinton Tinubu APC administration is still existing. We all know Amokwinton is the chairman of the INEC. It's a shame on him. He knows. And after this show, you should still expect me back in your office. We will not relent until we get you out of that seat. You can't be in APC and be a chairman in INEC. INEC is supposed to be an independent body. You are just like a boy that runs an errand for the administration. So I call it a shame.
Do you have evidences to
hold on? Oh, what are you telling me? This is obviously and evident enough on here about what's his name, who hacked into the server, the system of the INEC, and yet till date nothing has happened. Now let's leave that side and also come back to the election in Ekiti State. Now, what is the security agency doing? They can't really do anything because this is a master plan for the shenanigans of the APC Tinubu's foolishness administration. At every single polling unit, if we can take back the videos, the interviews and everything that is going on online, the question we should be asking INEC, I think the problem we are facing in Nigeria today, because if you look at the election in Ekiti, many parties were not mentioned. INEC only took out the name of the first three. What happened to the other parties? We need to know the scores of all the other parties, then collate it with the total number of people in Ekiti State. That is when we start talking about transparency and accountability. Now, on the same video that is online, you can also see in Ekiti that all the voters' card that INEC has refused to release to voters, to citizens of Ekiti who are registered for their voters, their PVC. You know, INEC will always tell you it is not ready, we don't know where it is. Those voters card, you can see live on air and on video how they were sharing the voters card during the gubernatorial election in some of the polling units. And how did they share? They shared it with 20,000 naira. They will bring non-Ekiti indigene. You see them. Let's go on air. It's not something I'm accusing the government of. It's not something I'm accusing INEC of. It is something we are saying. The foolishness of Amukbito INEC has to come to an end.
I think
just a minute.
Just go ahead.
Right. We cannot make unsubstantiated claims, and just for clarity, that views expressed on this program now are your views, and Global Television do not stand for those views. Right? You are expressing your views, and if need arises, I'm sure you have the evidence obviously to back up. Okay, but let's talk about the states of. Because you started the statement by saying the democracy, you do not believe in the democracy, but you are running under the platform of a political party for a senatorial seat.
Yeah.
You want to be a senator of Lagos West, and you don't believe in democracy. Make me understand.
No, I'm not saying I don't believe in democracy or democracy, but I am saying the only way to get a free and fair election, let's call a spade, is to get rid of these Tinubu INEC people. First, let's hold the INEC accountable of where they managed to get. It's on TikTok, it's on Facebook, it's on YouTube, it's on every social media platform. You can see PVC being shared to non-indigenous in Ekiti State. Even you can see one of the gubernatorial candidates in ADC come to challenge one of the APC candidates, woman, that was sharing money to the voters in order to rig election, in order to get their votes. That's not alone. You can also see very clear live on air on all TV stations the van of the APC guy, the gubernatorial candidate of the person of Abiodun Oyebanji. You can also see his van and the black jeep. What were they doing? They were throwing out bread to animals to talk. Nigerians. This is a dimensional way, according to them, their dimensions of rigging elections. Is this democracy?
Right, so
is this INEC that we are supposed to be talking about?
I'd like to interfere when we talk about the issues of vote buying. We've seen that we've had patterns of vote buying in Nigeria for some time. I remember the last election in Anambra. My colleague was there and she covered and she reported to have seen from almost all the parties. So we cannot, is it fair or is it morally justifiable to now put all of the blame on the APC? Yes, the APC could be involved in vote buying, but when we look at the Nigeria political atmosphere, lots of other political parties are also involved.
All right, thank you very much. You have a point, because if you look at the analysis and you look at the video clips and evidences live on all the social media, you realize that it is not only the APC here that has been questioned. Even the ADC was also questioned of sharing 10,000 to voters in order to secure their vote. And you see in Nigeria, of course, I will agree that we need to do more of thorough education, because you see, selling of votes, you who sells your vote, you have sold your vote for 10,000 to ADC, 20,000 to APC. Quite well, you have sold it for the suffering of another 4 years. All these people, you and I know, they are recycled politicians. They have not even see. If you see any of them saying they are coming to run for the next second term, they are not coming to run to work for the masses, but all because they know this is their last tenure of running. They are coming to loot, create poverty, ash economy, insecurity, road that does not work, school that does not work. Nothing is going to ever work. They are only coming to run to gain whatever. Now, let me bring to your notice, we all saw on social media, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, even Even in some TV stations, we all saw live on air. This is not me quoting. This is what we saw of over 500 buses customized on Tinubu for campaign. Now, in a country and a state where we have emergency to attend to, children as old as 6 months old have been adopted. Wives, husbands, a whole lot of citizens have been adopted by these bandits, these terrorists, but the government is not doing anything in respect to this. But now, we are now talking about the election in Ekiti State. Now, let's tell ourselves the truth. Election, because when you talk about all these bandits, criminals in powers and in government, it happens by this same election, by INEC giving them the chance, the opportunity to do this. Why? Because they are all cohabiting, they are all working together. But if you ever want to make a change in Nigeria for a better governance, revolution becomes the only source. And when we talk about revolution is not only in violence. Revolution is changing the conceptuality of the minds of the masses, speaking to their souls, awakening the minds of the people, making them realize that their voice is important, so that the shenanigans and the show of shame in the gubernatorial election in Ekiti, as far as I'm concerned, there is never an election in Ekiti State. If every single party wants to speak, then the election in Ekiti State should be cancelled with immediate effect. If INEC wants to prove to the entire masses, to the entire Ekiti State people, then let that election be totally cancelled. If not, you also saw, no, be cancelled on what basis? Be cancelled on the grounds of fraud, rigging. Even the electorals are also involved in this. You saw the beavers of the document. The guy was practically showing the document and said, look at the numbers of the APC, look at the numbers from the ADC and all other parties. When you put this number and this number together, you will see that it is even more. When they were not even conscious enough, it is even more than the numbers they claim were voters on that election. So what are we talking about?
We have people who go into an election. We do not claim that the Nigerian system is perfect, right? And there's no system in the world that is perfect. The system has, issues. Yeah. And that's why you are subjecting yourself to this same system. You are contesting under a political party platform. And the same INEC, right, is meant to dispense the result. And sometimes when we see politicians argue as to, we could talk about the credibility of INEC, we could talk about what INEC can do better. Yeah. But we cannot totally say they've not done well or they've not done anything at all. That would be so. You can't just a minute. That would be totally unfair, because we have reporters on the ground, and there are many polling units that were reported to be each free. There are many polling units, there are many persons who voted without buying, collecting bribe or doing something. And when we talk about even the bribe, it wasn't one part, it's a political culture in Nigeria that needs to be changed, right? But how do we now change that culture? So I think that in some of our analysis, it may not be totally fair. We could look at the society they've done. For instance, you talk about political leaders that they've not done anything. It's not true. Over time, they could not have done as much as they would have done, right? And we hold them accountable to that. But it will, in language, it's the theory of heresy to say they've not done anything, because we've seen roads, we've seen hospitals.
Where did you see the road? Can you show me the hospital?
You've not seen any road.
Can you show me the roads and show me the hospital and the economy that works? The only thing you can show me, I'm sure as you are seated there, is to show me how much revenue they were generated as a result of tax, ridiculous and illegal tax levied on the masses. Revenue were generated. That's the only achievement of this administration. But the question is, those revenue generated, what has it added to Nigerian economy? May I remind you that Buhari, during his administration for 8 years, borrowed 87 trillion in 8 years. And I quote, the economy statistics are there. In Tinubu's just 3 years, I mean just 3 years, has borrowed over 2 $200 trillion. The question is, what has the money? If the money has been dispersed and used to create amenities for people, why is gas as cheap today? Why is gas today in Nigeria 2,500? Why is fuel 1,500? Why do we have infrastructure that does not work? Tell yourself the truth. Don't you see how many family, innocent children on the street that sleeps under the bridge, and you are seated there telling me, see, revolution is now, and revolution is not in violence. Revolution is awakening the minds of the citizens, the minds of the people. I'm speaking. No, I am speaking to that fact, and I am telling you.
Fact. You are not speaking to the fact. You could talk about the issues that we have. They are clear. We have those issues. Nobody is saying we do not have the issues, but we should not also, totally denigrate our institutions, because when we do that, it's a call to anarchy in a way. We have to respect our institutions, call out the things that need to call out, and also praise them when we've seen, because from what you are saying, there is no institution in Nigeria that has never done anything good. And you've said you've not seen roads that have been done. You've said you've not seen hospitals. You are asking me, should I answer you, the hospitals? On the 3rd anniversary of the president, we covered it. More than 56 projects were commissioned all over Nigeria.
More than 56 projects were commissioned. Why are you in this state? It's a question back to you.
Now the FCT minister is having a commissioning for 30 days. 30 days every day.
After destroying the lives of a lot of
you said projects are not there. So that's what I'm responding to, right? And these things are real. So we could talk about the fact that yes, our country has not done enough. Nobody is arguing. For me, I'm not arguing that fact. We would have done better, but it would be unfair to now say we've not done anything at all. Maybe out of 100%, we've done 5, we've done 10, and when we talk about that, because these are
you just shut yourself. Out of 100, we've not speaking 1, we've done 5.
Government, we have to be clear about that. I'm not speaking for the government, but my work is that as a journalist, I have to hold you so that you don't also inflect the issue. We have to be unbiased in the reporting, and that's the role I'm playing now. So you can go ahead and
now in the issue of the INEC, as you raise, we must do justice or justification to the 2027 election, most especially the ones currently running in Ekiti, that has already happened in Ekiti State. Let me tell you, the best way to have a free and fair election in Nigeria is to ensure that INEC remains 100% unbiased and independent according to their tax.
Right.
You cannot be an INEC chairman, be an AAC chairman, or an ADC chairman, or a watchdog, or a boy for AAC, PDP, or any other political party, and expect justification or a free and fair election.
But then, sorry for cutting you short, sorry. Do you have any evidence to prove that the INEC chairman is also a politician?
What is your responsibility as a leader appointed in an office? When the results that were supposed to be seen in sacrosanct was leaked, what has INEC done to that effect? The notice were actually waiting. I have waited online to see, okay, just have a press release of what has been done. 1, 2, during the course of the gubernatorial election that just happened in Ekiti State, we have seen testimonies online from interviews from individuals like you and I, from citizens, from people. Now, the question is, what has INEC or the security agency done to counter this? How many people has been arrested? How many people has INEC actually even brought? Because INEC has their power to also probe and brought people to book. How many? Because this thing, I watched one lady who was carrying her baby and said what they got was 10,000 naira, and they gave them a PVC to go and use to vote, even when their pictures were not the ones on on those PVC. The question is, we also saw what did INEC do to this effect? How does those PVC that were being shared during the gubernatorial election, how do they get to the hands of those people? If we are saying the INEC has done justice to the electoral system, then how did that manage to happen? Right. That is the first question we should be asking ourselves.
Right. You talked about the INEC chairman, but there's something called state resident electoral commissioners, right? And we have different rules because when we look at an election cycle and how elections are being conducted, we have the APOs, assistant polling officers, we have the POs, we have the returning officers, up from different levels up until. So if figures are manipulated at the ward or the polling booth, the polling units, the PU as it's called, it's not the INEC chairman that is in the polling units. They are Nigerians, right? Like you and me, some of them core members, some of them ad hoc staff selected by the institutions to do this. So at the end of the day, the INEC chairman is not even the one who is the presiding officer. He's not the presiding officer of that election. The same way we are getting reports, is the same way the INEC chairman will get report. But let me just bring.
But you agree with me that it is a small responsibility to get all that working before the election date.
I'll answer to that. The Independent National Electoral Commissioner, Commission INEC, at this moment we can confirm, has declared Biodu Oyebanji as the winner of the Ekiti State election. Oyebanji is the current governor of the Ekiti State, and INEC has declared that he scored a total of 319,224 votes. The defeat his closest rival. The closest rival was PDP Oluyede of the PDP, and we also had Oluwadere of the ADC as the results are coming in now. So Ekiti had 1 million registered voters. However, about 1,028,000 collected their permanent voter card at the
28
time.
What?
1,028,000
collected their voters card.
Their permanent voters card out of 1,059,000 that registered. All right, so let's get back to the conversation. So, what's the place of the presiding officer? What's the place of the polling people at the polling unit where the INEC chairman is not physically there present? He doesn't run that beat, but people may compromise and people may not compromise, because let's not also take away the fact that we have thousands of Nigerians. Because sometimes when we make this, I say INEC as an institution, there are many INEC staff who, in deterrence to their life, have stood for this country and they've said no, we are not corrupt. So if we make a blanket statement about an institution, so what of those who have stood the test of time? What are we saying? We are saying we don't recognize the work they've done. There are many of them who are not corrupt. So,
but not in this administration.
You cannot say that because you don't have.
Let me chip in. If INEC will look at any Nigerians today and say, we've done justice to what happened in the gubernatorial election in Ekiti State, and what's his name? Oyebanji, who had 319,224 votes in Ekiti State, and in virtually most of the polling units that were showed online in all social media platforms, you can also see how the APC has been able to infiltrate their rigging in diverse of forms. Plus, you can obviously see their vans, that even if you want to screenshot it, the van is not just like it is uncustomized. These are customized vans. Obviously with their pictures on it. Then how many arrests has been done, and how did what's his name Oyebanji managed to get 319,224 votes? I cannot find Tom, because the last report I checked before getting into this video, I managed to speak with one or two in Ekiti State, and from the report I gathered, it was clearly stated that even campaign was not allowed in Ekiti by other political parties outside the APC party. That you cannot even post your poster. It's as bad as Your poster, that your small ambi and that your small poster, you can't even paste it.
Alright,
then how did, with every of the complaints of the masses in virtually all the polling units in Ekiti State, that I am not the one saying this, I am also saying by what is evident on air, we all are seeing it. I'm not the only one seeing it. So what is the justification of INEC that Oyebanji actually won that total number? Because when you are saying this, it's just like you trying to bring Nigerians back to the state of saying, you remember one statement, if you can refresh, there was a statement made by the current president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, some years back, even during in fact, before he became the president. I will say it in verbatim and I will quote it the way he said it exactly. That was during the regime of what's his name? The last administration, Buhari. He said, "Oshe kini, olule, Oshe keji, olule, Oshe keta, owa bosori television, owa sunkun." I will interpret it. Owa sunkun. Mo wa pepe ma bo, wa ba mi l'Abuja. A máa yanjú ẹ̀ kó máa wọlé, ṣùgbọ́n tó bá wọlé èmi ló kàn lẹ́yìn ẹ̀. What that simply says is, the interpretation of that is, he did it the first time, he failed. He did the second time, he failed. The third time, he failed and now cried on TV station. And I called him, come to Abuja, let us solve it. You will emerge the president. But after you, it is my turn. On the agenda, the master plan agenda of Emilocom was where the current administration was now built, that we have the same problem we are facing, even to the point of what is happening in Ekiti.
But then how do you merge these?
I didn't say it too.
But I'm coming, please.
I'm quoting his words.
Yeah, I know you're quoting his words. Number one, I think before you quote the words, you have to give us evidence to prove that this is what he really said. That's number one. I'm coming. Number two, how do you link the Ekiti, just concluded Ekiti lecture with the Emilocom administration?
Thank you.
Because I'm trying to understand.
All right, I'll tell you. You see, some people will say he inherited problem while he got into power. But I used to tell people there was never a problem inherited. Everything on ground was planned and well executed. Now, you want to know how it managed to consign this gubernatorial election in Ekiti State. You see, it is not, we are looking at, so see, this gubernatorial election in Ekiti State is an awakening call for Nigeria. You know, that is just one state. We still have quite a number of states and a number of elections to be run in different seats. Now, but that is just an awakening call for everyone to sit up and for INEC to know tó bá jẹ lọ in Ekiti, ó ní jẹ lọ in any state, meaning that if you have your way in Ekiti and Nigerians have seen the show of shame in Ekiti, automatically you should be aware that you will never escape it in many other states. Even still in Ekiti, there are still other elections to be run in Ekiti. Then what I am now saying is, how does this manage to concern the current gubernatorial election in Ekiti State? Yeah. It's a very simple answer.
All right.
A plan initiated before power, in other words, to have the country at your feet and buy the Nigerians excess of time in order to run Nigeria at the tip of your finger even after 2027 election. I used to say, this administration, it's only a fool that will say this administration is thinking about 2027. Because 2027 will only expired in 4 years. Am I correct? But after 4 years, the administration is not working for 4 years. It's working for a lifetime power. And a lifetime power is the origin of deaths, starvation, hunger, insecurity, and a whole lot that Nigerians may not be able to handle, where anarchy.
Do you have a proof? Do you have a backup for this?
Before one of your backup, you are asking yourself. Nigeria is a democratic state or a nation where people have the right to do what have you, blah blah blah, vote, belongs to different kind of party and the likes. But let's ask ourselves this: if I am the president of Nigeria, why do I need all the governors in the entire state to deploy to my party? Why must I compel that all governors in the entire state? Because I believe. Is that what the governors told you? Hold on. It's not a matter of is that what the governors told you. It is a matter of is this not what you and I and the entire Nigerians are seeing? How different governors they come from their party to APC party. Absolutely. But we all saw that. The question is, were they compelled? Even if they are not compelled, or even if they are compelled, you and I should ask ourselves this: why is it that neither as an executive arm of government, as the commander-in-chief, if I am the head of this establishment, and things are not working in my state, things are not working in this state, that state, and that state, it is one of my core responsibility as the overall head to ensure that I demand what happens in that state and an immediate probe to why there is high level of abductions and insecurity, economies are going bad, things are not working, because the reality here, and we are going to the governors compelled. You said were they compelled? What were they not compelled?
Were they compelled?
According to them,
no.
They were. You don't have that fact. No. According to them, they were. It's not how many of them told. It is how many of them.
So as an individual now, you are
as an individual. Please tell me how visible it is for 28 people to just come from one party to another. Your things are your choice.
That's their choice. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Now they can choose a political party. What's the name of that political party again? His own political party. So if today me and Ojon decide and every other person decide to join your political party, that means your
there must be an idea. There must be a reason why you chose to join the party. See, have you, let me bring your memory.
What's your reason of coming here? Okay, what's your reason of coming here? Because you want to say something. So them too, as they moved from one political party to another party,
they say they want to say something, but hold on. But they want to say something, help the administration to work better, right? I know that's what you want to tell me. But the question is what the president is doing. They know what the president is doing, but the antecedent and the records, and the records are there. You cannot wake up tomorrow and say, I want to come and join AAC, and I want to contest under AAC, and you are one time a recycled politician in other party. The first thing AAC would do to you was check your background, your antecedent. What have you been able to add to the country or to that state? We are rapidly running out of time. Let me ask you my last question. Our producers will not get us query. Sure. Okay, all right. I'd like to ask, you talked about the fact that the elections, people were not, but we've had issues with our electoral system over the years. Yes. There's been complaints, but not as worse as this. From different cycles. The APC has done complaint about being maltreated. We've seen that severally. The PDP, several parties have complained, right? And the law provides room 14 days after the election. If any party who contested feels they can approach the election petition panel, and we've seen also where opposition party were able to get mandates from the courts. Yeah. Right? We've seen that severally too in our country. So I like severally then, not now. I like to ask now, but we've seen it. We have it in history, right? So I like to ask now. Going forward, you too, you are a politician, and you are contesting in Lagos West Senate district to be a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Yeah. Do you see yourself standing a chance? Yeah, if free and fair election is allowed. So anytime you don't win, it's not free and fair. Is that the if there is a free and fair election, very clear to the entire masses, and I don't end up emerging the winner of Lagos West, and the election is free and fair, let me be honest with you, I will simply support the winner and make Nigeria a better place. Because if whoever that has emerged on the ground of free and fair election, no rigging, no corner anywhere. See, all you want, everybody wants is a better Nigeria, isn't it? The reason I am running is for the people of Lagos West as a whole to have a better life, of 500,000 minimum wages for private and government, a 1,000 housing unit to be pushed at the National Assembly, which is the 11th National Assembly. We are going into a road that works. Illegal levies imposed on people to be put an end to. Marketplaces. My brother. How many of it? Now, are you aware that on the last, as of the last 2024, please let's not even go, because it's not going to be as we open different kind of thing. But what I'm trying to say in essence is, if a free and fair election is run in any state or in any country, the other party will not even want to raise an eyebrow, go to court. Why should I go to court when a free and fair election is done? But if a free and fair election is not done, I, Comrade Alfred Olsonfo, a human rights advocate and an AAC Senate candidate, I will do everything within my power to ensure justice is served for us. Even if they have to use the loaded DSS, the Nigerian police, the Nigerian army to adopt and kidnap me, I will do anything to ensure that justice is served and the people of Lagos West are happy and get a better country and Nigeria becomes better in our lifetime.
We have to end now. We have to end now. Just to say, at least the DSS, that appellation, lawless, that was only your that's your own opinion. Opinion of Global TV. Absolutely not. Thank you so much, Comrade Alfred Somfon, a human rights activist, politician, and AAC senatorial candidate for Lagos West. We wish you all of the best in your endeavors.
Amen. Thank you.
All right, people, let's go for a short break, and when we're back, we'll be rounding up the show. Please stay with us.
Wake up with Global Morning, your daily guide to what's happening and making the rounds.
We delve into headlines, newspaper reviews, spot-on analysis, policies, current events, real talk, real issues that affect us all.
From the latest trends to the debate, every topic, every angle, Global Morning is where it all starts.
Global Morning,
For the latest issues,
always on point.
Watch Global Morning Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. Saturday and Sunday.
Alright, so welcome back to the program. It's still the weekend edition of Global Morning. Today on the program we'll had quite a lot of information and fun also. We started by looking at the papers. We talked about the Mental Health Month, which this month is celebrated for the men. So
this month is for the men. And then outside that again, okay, before I move to my next topic, let me talk about the mental health again. Yeah, so if you know you're having any challenge and you know it's going to drain you mentally, like my mental health always, like we always say, please, you always try to speak to someone, talk to someone. I know out of 100, not, you won't say we are all bad. You'd have one person that you can rely on and talk to. So speak out and then seek for solution. Like our first guest stated earlier before she left the studio, she said, apart from speaking out, you can do what you know you like doing. Like if going out, having new friends, or eating. If you are the foodie type, please eat. If you're the dancing type, please dance and let that face pass. And then we talked about the Ekiti election as well. Where our senatorial candidate nearly scattered the studio for us this morning. Alright, we wish him all the very best on his ambition of becoming the senator of Lagos West. Alright, so.
Alright guys, that's the much you can take this morning. Do remember to drink water and get yourself hydrated.
Stay healthy.
Stay out of problem. My name is Upong Osoro in Abuja.
I am Sadia Yakubu saying thank you for watching.
Alright.
Bye.